Okay, so we're gonna do something a little fun. We're gonna test Scott with his terminology, his shaman terminology of like the Hmong tools and whatnot. And I'm gonna say Hmong because you know when I'm in my trance, I say it in Hmong. When sometimes I will say it in English, but most of the time, if my guides are demanding, they're saying it in Hmong. So we're gonna test his knowledge and see how he does. So yeah. Okay, so as promised, let's get started. So, babe, I'm going in my trance and I'm saying, Zinning, Zinning. What is that one? Which one?
This
Yes, that's right. Good job.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
And the only reason I know that one is because you asked me to grab it all the time.
Yeah, when I owning, I do come across a lot of spirits. What about Lundua? I'm not gonna say that in my trance, but yes, that's right.
This is my best friend.
Yes. This one might be a little harder. Danda.
Ooh.
You've never had to pull this one, but I have referenced this before.
I'm gonna say it's the horns.
No.
No?
That's gua.
See, I got one. I got it wrong.
It's a sword.
Is it the sword? I was thinking the sword, but I wasn't sure.
Yep. Yay. And that is, what if I say, what does that mean?
No idea.
What I need you to spray me with deja.
Oh, okay.
What's deja?
Deja is the 2 cups that you put in the back. It's the water, the holy water.
Yes, that's right. And then what if I'm like, babe, my shrine's all set up. Can you go put out my toning?
Bench.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was like, is it the bench?
Yeah, let's show the bench.
All right.
Okay.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh, here, I can hold. Okay. It's really cool. Hushing, the person who helped me make my horse, he customized to where the legs can come apart so it's easier to store, which is really, really handy. It's a little scary when you were like trying to take it apart because, you know, it kind of like falls when you lift it, but yeah, it is so beautiful.
Oh.
Hey, watch it.
I usually put it together over there.
Look at it. It's so beautiful. The wood quality is amazing. Yeah, he's located in Natomas? No, Norsac.
I'd say
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching.
Like right outside of can't think of that little town.
Anyways, his name is Hoshing, and I'll drop his Facebook link in the description box below or either in the comments. Yeah, thank you. And we're back. So, hi again. My name's Elizabeth.
And I'm Scott, and welcome back to our shaman journey.
Yes. So he did really good at identifying the tools. You did amazing.
You've never asked for the sword.
No, that's because I haven't met anything that required the sword. Yeah. When I need the sword, you know, that's probably when I'm probably calling down my safest guide.
You say it, and I'm gonna be like, "What are you talking about? Which one?"
Yes. Okay, so in this video, we are going to talk about. So we came back from Minnesota, and now I'm waiting for
the in between
my raising of Shrine Day
and shake test.
I believe I waited for a total of,
was that 6 months?
About 6
August,
months.
September. Yeah, 6 months. What?
It did not feel like 6 months. Okay, the beginning felt like an eternity, but the closer we got to the date, it was way too fast. But
Yeah, you hated me because I kept reminding her. Oh, we got 2 months left. Oh, we got 6 weeks left.
yeah,
She was like, "Shut up."
yeah, everyone was reminding me of the closer the date comes, and I'm just like a little low-key like hyperventilating because anyways, we're just gonna kind of go through. So I wanted to kind of talk about what happened in between, the wait, the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
As what my teacher says. So during this time, I was slowly gathering my tools. So as you saw, the doning made by Hushing, we gathered that one. That was one of the big cost. And then we also slowly gathered like little things like the flower. So on my shrine, there's flowers, and then there's random things like a white rope.
Yeah, we had to make sure we got all the cups.
The cups. Mm-hmm. And then the incense sticks, the IKEA candles. We got like a bunch of those.
We were trying so long to find candles that would fit in your candle holders. We ordered like 6 different ones.
Okay, on Amazon, they don't sell like simple plain white candle holders. And so I kept ordering, like there's one that I really liked, but then it didn't fit the standard candlestick.
None of the candles would fit.
Yeah, and so I wasn't gonna have Scott spend his time shaving down the end stick just so that it'll fit, right? And so we ended up returning that, and I just ordered the black version of the other candlestick that I did like, candle holder that I did like, and I just spray painted that white.
Yeah.
And we were getting those, and then I gathered shaman clothes. I have to wear all black for when I go owning. It's kind of like gathering a bunch of gym clothes, you don't go to the gym wearing like your jeans and nice top. You gotta gather your tools, your proper clothings.
Yeah, and we got really lucky because we didn't have to buy a table for the first shrine because we just used one that we already had.
Thank you, Liz. Good job.
All the estate sales that you go to. That's how we ended up with a lot of the stuff that you had for your shrine, was going through estate sales and buying all the ornate old stuff like your bell. Yeah.
Yep. And
What's
then
the bell called?
I believe it's just called a luchu.
Okay.
I mean, there's really no actual, that I'm aware of, a term for the ring of or like the bell, because bell is chu. So
yeah. Well, if anyone knows, let us know.
And then during this time, a lot of supernatural things was happening. Okay, so remember how in one of the videos, I think either 2 or 3, that I said, I told Scott, actually I think it was the first video, the very first video I ever made with Scott. I said that growing up, supernatural things did happen to me, but it wasn't back to back to where it scared me or made me like, oh, this is kind of uncanny, like, kind of giving me a sign that I should do something about it.
Yeah.
But after agreeing to a date to raise my shrine and doing the shake test, things are happening back to back now, okay? It's not sporadic. It's not once in a blue moon. It's happening consistently now. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? So I never had a dream of fighting a demon before. That's right, I fought a demon. Now let me tell you that story. Okay. It was the first time I ever dreamt of fighting a demon. So I was having a normal dream, and I remember walking down a neighborhood, and I noticed, I saw in the perspective of a demon looking intrigued with my dream, myself, and it was lurking in one of the homes, looking through a window, looking at me, and it was staring at me, and it was smiling, like really crookedly. I don't know, it looked really sinister, and it didn't have a human form. It was like a black see-through, shadowy point, like, it looked like flame, except it's like black. And it was smiling at me as I was walking by. And the vision turns back to me. And that's when I knew that something had infiltrated my dream. And so I think that's when I became aware that I was dreaming or there was something wrong. And I kept walking, and there was a lady who had red hair. She was very tall. She looked Caucasian, and she walked out of the townhomes. Okay, but her eyes, they were like, her pupils were superbly dilated. You could barely see any whites. And she had the biggest, most sinister smile on her. And she looked so menacing. And it was weird the way how she walked out of the house, because it looked like she was crawling out of a cave or something. I'm so sorry this dream is scaring you guys. If it is, you can fast forward, or you can just stop watching the video. I don't mind. So sorry. But so she came out, looked like she was crawling out of a cave, but she came out through a door of a townhome, and she was wearing normal clothes, like you and me. And she's coming towards me, and she had 2 dogs that came out, and they look, it was like a bulldog and another similar dog of that feature, and their eyes was also very much black, dilated, and they were coming at me. And I had a physical combat with the demon lady, and I've never had that experience before. Like, I didn't know what to do, but in that dream, I knew exactly what to do, how to, like, fight, how to hit her, how to dodge her.
Yeah, because I remember you saying that you weren't, you weren't afraid.
No, that's another thing. I wasn't afraid at all. I was very much, like, calm, collected, and I'm just, like, fighting her, dodging, and then, I remember she got really upset and she called her dogs to come and attack me. And so that was like 3 versus 1. Like, that's unfair fight. So I turned around and I ran back towards where I was at. And I called out, and I think I called out to my guides, because there was like these things that just flew out from the ground, and they started attacking the dogs. And I was fighting this demon lady. And again, we were doing hand-to-hand combat, and she was losing. And so she and her dogs, they ran. But then my guides, I have never seen my guides in that particular dream. But I just remember feeling like they were chasing them. And they got that demon lady back. And I remember, this is so ratchet, I grabbed her by the hair, and I'm like holding her by their hair, and I drag her to like the sink area. This is kind of gruesome, but I take a hammer out and I'm bashing her head in, and her brain is splattering everywhere. Like, there's blood and brain matter everywhere. I'm just smashing, like, breaking her down. And I woke up out of my dream. I was in sweats, like I was sweating everywhere, and I was not hyperventilating, but my heart rate was going really fast.
Adrenaline was pumping.
There was a ton of adrenaline. And I'm just like, what the F is going on here? And I remember texting my teacher, and I explained the dream and what everything happened. And she was like, oh, it's normal for you to dream about things like that. We're demon slaying, and yeah, it's gonna happen.
Frequently.
Yeah, frequently. I was just like, okay. But this is the disturbing part that I was a little disturbed by, was I felt really proud and really satisfied by what had happened. And my teacher was just telling me that just means that I'm really good at what I am going to be doing. And I remember asking her, I was like, was that dream real, or was that just like a test dream, or was that just a dream to have a dream? And she was like, saying that it definitely was real. And she was telling me about her own demon dreams and when she didn't kill the said demon in her dream, it actually came out in real life, and it was, you know, haunting her. And so, whew, that was my first encounter with fighting a demon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know, I continued having like really funny dreams, like dreaming of my teacher giving like a speech, and then she's telling me and other students that, oh, she's gonna come raise us in October. And then my husband, he was there, but it turns out it was just like my guide who's posing as my husband, and they thought that she was taking too long to raise us. And so Scott in my dream was like, I'm gonna go change her mind, that's too long. And so he runs out after my teacher and left me behind. I'm like running after him, and he's going too fast, I can't catch up. And so he just ups and ditched me to go persuade my teacher to like, you need to come raise us sooner. But it was just my guide's like really antsy to like raise us. And so I had to burn a lot of incense sticks and money so that they'd like calm down and be patient.
Yeah, you were burning incense sticks quite often.
Yeah, it was almost like a nightly ritual that I did burnt incense sticks for them. Yeah. And then
the next story that you were going to tell is very fascinating because it was very random. We just woke up one day and we wanted to get out of the house. We wanted to go for a nice drive.
It was because we were really it was around the time when we newly were added into our practicum site, and so we were like learning the ropes of like what to do, and so we were kind of like stressed about learning like new things.
Yeah.
And practicum as in like that training site for therapy. And so we went out for a drive in the coast just to calm our nerves.
Yeah, because we live fairly close to
the
like
coast.
Maybe 2 hours away from Pacific Coast Highway. And we decided to go drive along the one from Sausalito's all the way up to Bodega Bay. And then we went on that trip. We were just driving. We had the kids in the car, and that's when you had one of your supernatural experiences as well.
Yeah, okay. So driving by Point Reyes, it is so beautiful there. Anyways, so we were driving by in the coast, and then we were getting up to Point Reyes, and I remember super wide awake. I was eating crackers with my husband and my daughter. We got like this Costco cracker, and it was actually super tasty. And we're munching away, and then all of a sudden I felt like a deep lull to like go to sleep. I remember telling Scott, like, I'm really tired. He's like, you better not fall asleep. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm lulling to sleep. Like, it's just super heavy. I couldn't even open my eyes anymore. And then he's nagging at me. I better not fall asleep. I better not fall asleep. I closed my eyes because I couldn't hold it open anymore, but I was still like awake. I could still hear everything around me, but I was semi asleep. I don't know. And I saw this is buck, like the male deer.
Yeah, it's called a buck.
Oh, okay. So I saw a buck. He was like white. He's glowing. He was so elegant looking, and he came really close to me to where I could touch his nose. You know, it felt a little rubbery. It felt really soft, and he was just sniffing me and looking really close to me. And I remember seeing us like running through the forest together. He's like hopping and showing me. He's almost like prancing, you know, and he's showing me all these places in the forest, and he's showing me all these other herds of deers and whatnot, and they're all looking at me, and they're all glowing too, but they're not as beautiful as the buck before me. And so after that, the vision ended, and I came back, and just like that, my energy was back. I wasn't tired anymore. And that was the first time that kind of take that back. That was the first time that I could remember in a really long time happening to me. And so when I came back, I told him what that was about. And as I was telling him what just happened, and we're still driving on the road, we see pods of deers
like
everywhere.
an abnormal amount of them, because there was no deers up until that
Yeah.
point, and then all of a sudden there was just a plethora of deer.
Yes. And I did not see any deers before I saw this guardian of Point Reyes. No deers whatsoever. It was just like sand dunes and cliffs and just the ocean and just, but there was so many deers after that, and I'm just flabbergasted because I'm pretty sure I just met the guardian of Point Reyes, and he is a deer. He's a buck that guards that area. And he greeted me and he welcomed me and he was showing me his home and introducing me to his family. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, it was even when you came out, you were very awestruck about what just happened.
Yeah, because he was so, it was such, I don't know how to describe it. It was like such a surreal moment. I don't know.
Yeah, that was one of the other things that happened in between us actually raising.
And then, so fast forward, we get to work. Now we're trying to learn the ropes at my practicum site, and we're working, and we're seeing clients, right? And I remember one day, I just started having dreams of being courted by something that I know I should not be going with or marrying. I remember, so this happened like 2 days in a row. The dream that I can remember was that I was married to someone, not my husband. I was married to someone, and Scott was a family friend, and I remember he tried to come onto me, like, ew.
Yeah.
Just kidding. And so he was trying to come on to me. I'm like, no, I'm married, like, this is inappropriate. And then he was just so persistent, and he just kept trying to, court me and try to hook up with me. And I'm like, hey, back off, I'm married, like, stop, I'm telling him, back off. And then in the way back corner in the dream, there was a voice that started mocking me, saying, "Oh, stop. Oh, this isn't right." And it started laughing. And then I got pissed off and I started yelling even louder. I was like, hey, you need to effing stop. Like, this is inappropriate. I'm married. You need to effing get lost. And Scott was like, it was like something, a flip switch off in him or something. And he just stopped. And he got up and he walked to the back, and there was something that came out of the shadow that looked like a man too, and it walked with Scott through a purple looking portal. It had like black miasma coming out of it, flowing, and it was like warping and whatnot, and the both of them walked through that portal together. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I told my teacher about that, and she told me that I had a demon that is following me. And so I was like, what the heck do I do? My teacher's in Minnesota, like, I don't know how to handle a demon. Like, what the hell am I gonna do? And so she told me what I could do, which was clean my house, jump over fire, and spray myself with breast milk, and draw a circle around my bed, and I also drew it around my daughter's bed too, with my shaman sword. And after that, like, ever since then, I've never had feelings like I was being followed or dreams that I was being courted. And also keep in mind that when I wasn't having dreams of being courted, I had sparks of moments where I would be really angry for no reason. Like, I was just so pissed off, like, abnormally. And I was like, whoa, where's that coming from? And then, like, when I'm in class, like, doing, because, we're still going to school, I would feel, like, really hot heat behind me out of nowhere. The AC's on. I'm wearing, like, light clothing. Like, it's just coming out of nowhere. And so, but yeah, those are just some of the things that happened when that demon was with me. And my teacher was telling me that that demon came from possibly one of my clients. And one of like a really disturbed client. And I was like, well, that doesn't delineate any of them because they all have a lot of stuff going on, you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to tell which one it was, but I guess it doesn't matter. But that definitely made us more proactive in like hopping over fire every time we come home from work. You know?
Yeah, now we have a little stove near our front door that I'm sure you'll take a picture of and show everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a cute little cute barbecue stove that we just hop over every time we come home. And then I sprayed my entire house with breast milk concoction. So
luckily you had a plethora of breast milk from our baby.
yeah, so I just had my son like about 2 years ago, so I had a stash of my breast milk. And so in my teacher and our shaman lineage, we use breast milk to cleanse spaces. And it's just like water touched by breast milk, and it's heavily diluted. And I just put it in a spray bottle and I'm spraying it everywhere. Every crevice, every nook and cranny, everywhere. Yes, everywhere. Like, open the kitchen drawer,
so
open the pantry, hell, even the fridge, open it. Like, we hosed the place down, and it felt so clean. The air felt lighter. The room got bigger. It was immaculately really nice. And I even sprayed my car and my garage, and it was just nice. But yeah, that was an experience that I never thought I would have to go through so soon. Yeah.
Yeah, so now we try and cleanse the house like every 4 or 5 months.
It may probably feel like 4 to 5 months soon, but then
it's only been twice since we've done it, so.
I clean it whenever I feel like the air is feeling really heavy, or like when I feel like there's things watching me, and I'm sensing like an abnormally large amount of spirits in our home, then I'll go and cleanse the home and whatnot. And that we've only cleansed my place twice before since my raising.
Yeah.
So it may feel like a timeline for him, but it was just a feeling.
It was just a feeling. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not a strict timeline.
No. And then another thing that also happened a lot before I raised as a official shaman was that I had a lot of visitations with birds and dragonflies. I remember seeing this, I forgot what I was doing. I think I was in a therapy session, and I came out of it from my office, and I was walking towards the stairwell to go upstairs because we live in a townhome. And before you get to that stairwell, there's like a balcony, and on the railing there was a falcon. So beautiful. There was a falcon that was just sitting there, perched.
And the weird thing, it wasn't perched looking outwards. It was looking
at me.
In the house.
It was looking at me, and it had something in its mouth, and it dropped it. I never found what it was because it dropped all the way down to the first floor, and I was too lazy to go downstairs to go see what it was. But there was a falcon just sitting there staring at me. I mean, it was sitting there long enough for me to take a picture of it, and it just looked so friendly. It was so curious. It kind of tilted its head to kind of look at me. It almost looked like it was smiling too, and I was just so flabbergasted, dumbfounded. I was in awe. I've never had a falcon just perched on my balcony staring at me. And it was standing there for such a long time, what felt forever, but then it flew away, and I kind of broke out of trance looking at it, and I just remember running upstairs to tell my husband and my daughter what just happened.
You did.
Oh gosh. And then Right so before the raising a shrine, I'm supposed to like burn these beeswax with toasted rice grain, and we're supposed to burn it for a period of like 3 to 5 days.
Yeah.
Or 4 to 5 days. Anyways, you have to burn it consecutively, and so we're burning it. And one of those days, I think it was the first or second day, and we were trying to burn the charcoal, and charcoals take forever to burn, and we're out there.
We became professionals at the charcoal.
You became a professional. He's so smart.
The second day, because the first day literally took us an hour, because we don't have a barbecue. We never cooked anything.
Yeah.
Like outside, so we were just trying to make shift to this whole thing with 3 charcoal things. And we realized that it just wasn't working very well. So we finally brought up our little K barbecue stove.
Yeah.
And
but right before he went and brought it up, because the reason why he went to go grab it was because the lighter died, because we were clicking on it for so long, holding it to light up this freaking little
it was so
charcoal cube. And so we're lighting forever, and it just died because we exhausted his poor lighter fluid. And so Scott's going downstairs to go get the K barbecue thing, and I'm out there, and I'm like getting colds, and it was super smoky. And so I went inside for a little bit, and as I'm closing the patio door, there's this black hummingbird that's, again, just like flying right by the balcony rail, and it was pouring. Okay, it's raining really badly outside, and why is there a hummingbird just flying around in a rainstorm? It's literally looking at me forever. It's flying in like
in the middle of winter.
And it's flying looking at me, and it was black and had like little red patch right here, and I'm just again staring at it almost like in trance, like just so awestruck, dumbfounded. And then like flies away, and Scott comes, and I was like, you missed it, there was a hummingbird here. I was like, what? And I'm just like, what is up with like these weird animal occasion, like you know, I always get visits by like hummingbirds too. Like that wasn't the first time that I've had visits from hummingbirds.
Are quite often.
I've seen them in like the most peculiar like places growing up, and then also encounters with like dragonflies. Oh my gosh, I've always had this thing with dragonflies where I remember one time, and this was not before like the in between my raising. This was like way back when I was like in high school. But there was like, I saw a pod of dragonflies when I was hanging out by the river. I was having like a really dark down moment to the point where I wanted to run away from home, but I did not. Anyway, so I'm sitting by the river because I am trying to become calm and really think about what I want to do. And I just remember seeing a bunch of dragonflies like everywhere. And they were almost like flying in a circle as well, like a vortex.
Yeah.
By me. And I just remember being so perplexed by that, seeing that. I mean, I've never seen anything like that before. I've seen tons of butterflies, yes, but not dragonflies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so birds, dragonflies, hummingbirds.
I feel like there's a reason for that we'll get into at one point.
No, I mean, it's really fast. There is something to it, and my teacher says that it's just like the heavens welcomed me back.
Yeah.
I don't know about the dragonfly, but then for sure, like the birds, you know.
Yeah, and then in the next video is finally going to be the raising of your shrine.
Yes.
And that whole experience.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'll talk about like the first few days leading up to the day of me raising my shrine. Yeah. And all the things that happens, you know, when a shaman becomes when they raise.
Yeah, there was a lot going on during that week. That was a busy week.
Yeah.
But other than that, if anyone ever has any questions or wants more information about anything that we're talking about, just let us know in the comments, and we'll do our best to answer all questions and see where it goes. So appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you in the next one.